In this video, we'll be showing you how you can grow tomatoes from fresh seeds, and we will show you how to care for your tomato plants so that you get high yield.
Almost all gardeners, we enjoy growing tomatoes. We want tasty tomatoes. We want lots of them. Now, with a little bit of know-how, a little bit of care, you can get lots of tomatoes on your tomato plants.
If you enjoy growing tomatoes and you want lots of them, watch this video till the end because it's going to be packed with helpful information. If you enjoy the types of videos that we make, you should definitely consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Without further ado, Dad, let's start gardening.
Let's start growing tomatoes.
There are two main types of tomatoes, determinate and indeterminate, and hundreds of varieties to choose from. Tomatoes can be grown inside a greenhouse or planted out into the ground. Tomatoes can be grown in a container or a grow bag, and why not have some fun by planting some tomatoes upside down?
These are indeterminate tomatoes we are growing inside our greenhouse. Some varieties can grow up to 20 feet tall. To get the best out of indeterminate tomatoes, you want to take off all the side stem, cut off all the side stem so the plant doesn't get bushy. You want to keep one main stem going upward. You want to let it go tall, far as it can go, maybe 8 to 10 foot tall, and then pinch off the main growth stem so they don't get any taller. As the fruit sets, you want to take off the leaves, cut off the leaves under the fruits as the fruits are setting, so that you get plenty of sun and air coming onto it, so the fruits can ripen properly. Indeterminate tomatoes need something to support on. You could use bamboo canes to support your tomato plant so that it climbs upward. Otherwise, as the fruit sets, you find the plant will drop. If you're growing tomatoes inside a greenhouse, make sure to water your plant every day in a hot day. Otherwise, you'll get something called blossom end rot. You get blossom end rot when the plant loses the ability to take up calcium due to lack of water. So make sure to water your plant regularly, especially in a hot day. Water your plant every day. Like today, the temperature inside the greenhouse is more than 32 degrees Celsius. This is how you should identify and remove the side stem from the main stem. Now, this is the main stem. We're trying to train on this cane to go upward. Now, it's easy to... This is how you should identify the sucker from the main stem. So you have, from the main stem, you have a leaf coming out, and you have a stem coming out from the center here. That is known as the side shoot or the sucker. So we want to remove this, otherwise all the energy from the main stem will be divided onto the side stem. You're going to get a very bushier plant, but you're not going to get as many tomatoes. It's best to remove all the side shoots or the suckers when they're quite young. I've allowed this to grow quite tall actually, so it's easier to remove them when they're quite small. So this is what I'm going to do. So usually you could actually just take this to side, left and right, and they easily come off. But because I allowed it to grow quite tall, I'm going to have to cut this off. Okay, so don't allow the sucker to grow this tall. This is the sucker here. That's the sucker here. Easy to remove this one. And that was quite simple to remove. This is another sucker here. So now we have one stem going up without, there's another sucker here. So now this greenhouse is about 9 foot tall, and as you can see, this plant has already grown about 9 foot tall. So if I pinch off the growth stem at the top, and that won't grow anymore. So as the fruits are setting, you want to now remove the leaves from the main stem, so that the fruits can ripen properly. So For example, I can see this leaf. The tomato is already set over here above that, so I could safely remove this now. I'm going to remove this leaf here.
Determinate tomato plants only grow up to 2 to 3 foot tall and don't need to be pruned. This is one of our determinate tomato plants, and as you can see, we're allowing it to grow bushy. We're leaving the side stems on.
On a determinate plant, the tomatoes set about the same time and they all ripen about the same time. However, on the indeterminate plant, the tomatoes do not set at the same time and they don't ripen on the same time. They ripen over the season. Now that you know the difference between determinate and indeterminate tomatoes, let's show you how to grow your tomatoes from fresh seed using fresh tomatoes. Now, for this video, I'm going to be using fresh tomatoes from this plant, which is one of my favorite tomatoes, the cherry tomatoes. You can buy your own favorite tomatoes from your local grocery shop, but just make sure they're fully ripe. Or you can just buy seeds and then use the seeds. And this is fully ripe. It's best to sow your seed about 6 weeks prior to planting. Cut the tomatoes in 2 halves. Add some seed compost onto a seed tray or in a container. Take the seeds out and bury the seeds under the soil by ½ centimeter. Spray lightly without getting it too wet and wrap cling film around it and put it onto a propagator or on the windowsill. And hopefully after 7 days you would have germinated your tomato seeds. If you can provide 25 degrees Celsius, after just in 7 days you'll get your tomato seedling this size. Now, once your tomato seedling reaches about 2 to 3 inch tall, prick them out, separate them and put them into individual containers, maybe about 3-inch containers. Use a multi-compost, a good multi-compost, and separate them to put them into small containers. Hopefully in 6 weeks time they will be ready to plant them into a container or out into the ground. By that point you should have a tomato plant about 1 foot tall. I really hope you get plenty of tomatoes on your tomato plant this year. If you enjoy watching our videos, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to share our videos.
As you know, sharing is caring. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, do something amazing and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time we upload. Stay safe, Assalamu alaikum, and until then I'll see you in the next one.
Happy gardening. Assalamu alaikum, and I'll see you in the next one.